God.
At least I think JP's on board too, but I will dye my hair green.
Oh,
so
man.
This team is a dark horse, and I do believe that they have a solid chance to win the league.
Slide over Savage Speeders and Crazy Cat's Eyes. There are some young teams that are ready to take your podium.
Praise the sun.
So the nest has been sprayed with Raid, and I think it might be time for Bumblebees to just pack it in. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're rolling at you live, and things in the Marble League are really, really starting to pick up right now.
They're heating up. I mean, 5 great events, events that all had a lot of differences, and we certainly saw a lot of movement in our standings and our leaderboard here.
Yeah, I think earlier on in the Marble League, it's not that the events were boring, but it was just kind of a slow uptick into this event. There wasn't much change on the leaderboard, but now everything is jam-packed on the leaderboard, and we're seeing these events that are high stakes and they're high intensity as well.
It was awesome. I think I read somewhere that we haven't seen, was it ice hockey in a couple of years? There's some events that it just added a lot to this Marble League, and it's been fun to watch. We'll go through it here, but some great events for a great week overall.
Absolutely, and some of these teams that we mentioned before the Marble League even that we wanted to see compete and try and knock off some of these legends like Savage Speeders and Crazy Cat's Eyes, we're seeing them rise to the top a little bit here.
I tell you, the newcomers are here.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it, but 3 newer teams in the top 5 as we sit after week event 10, and I couldn't be happier about it.
Yeah, slide over Savage Speeders and Crazy Cat's Eyes. There are some young teams that are ready to take your podium.
Praise the sun.
Is that there?
Solar Flares, praise the sun.
Yeah, I mean, Solar Flares, we've seen them this week grab three medals. We'll go into that all in a second, but where do you want to start here? Should we start with our Jungle Jumpers? Is that
Sure, yeah. If you watched last week's episode, you know kind of our beef, if you want to call it beef, with the Jungle Jumpers, but tell us about it if you didn't see last week's episode.
Yeah, if you haven't seen last week's, we're just non-believers in Jungle Jumpers. Jungle Jumpers, we were right to not take seriously. I don't think they'll land on their feet where they are right now in the second place. I think they'll drop significantly from this point. I'm not a believer yet, and I will not apologize for not talking about Jungle Jumpers.
Is that a Russ guarantee?
Yes.
Where do you see them? And I agree with Russ, honestly, and not to make more enemies, but I don't think it's sustainable.
Where are they at right now currently in the standings after event 10? So we're recording this after event 10. They sit still in second place. So we're wrong up to this point, but I'm still not wavering in my not hate, but in my disbelief of what they're able to accomplish this season.
Sure. I mean, they're tied for second. I think we're both on the same page where we thought, what was our prediction? Lower than 8th or 9th place?
Bottom half of the leaderboard.
It's going to be a little tough for us now, but we do have 6 events to go. And I'm just not buying the hype. I'm not buying the Jumpers hype.
Well, here's one thing. You say that it's not looking great right now, but when you look at teams 1 through 9, or even 2 through 9 where the Jumpers are, there's only 16 points separating those teams. So really 2 events could catapult the Jungle Jumpers down the leaderboard. I think that's why this has been so fun to watch so far, is how much a team can advance and move down this entire time. For sure, and I will talk about it, but the Solar Flares, I believe, were in 14th place come event 6, and now we're looking at them in the top 5 after 5 events. So to your point, everything can happen. Things can change. Everything can happen, and we'll see. We'll see if those jumpers fall. Yeah. So back to our Jungle Jumpers, we decided there was a voicemail last week with a guy named Jared. He's been in the comments a little bit. We've been talking back and forth. He thought of the idea, if they come in first place overall, we have to get a tattoo. Oh, God. If they come top 3, I think we had to get a jersey or something like that. So that's a little bit of that escalated really quickly there, Jared. There's a lot on the line. But I think what we should do, or here's an idea at least, let in the comments, I think we can agree to this right now. We'll shake on it right now. If they come in the top half of the league, we'll get either a jersey or a shirt. Yep. And we'll have to wear it, put it somewhere in the studio for when we record. That's 8th place or better. As a constant reminder. If they medal in this Marble League, 1, 2, or 3, we will. What do we ground? We bought a gold. Yeah. We'll buy a goldfish. We'll buy a fish, maybe a green fish. Maybe a green fish. We'll name him Leap, Jump, something like that. Whoever's the MVP. And that'll be a everlasting reminder of the Jungle Jumper success. And talk about everlasting reminder. If they come in first place, which they definitely will not, so I'm not. That's why I'm willing to put this on the line right now. Oh God. At least I think JP's on board too, but I will dye my hair green. Oh, man. So that's a constant reminder that, yes, this is going to get clipped. Oh, no. And that's fine. But, yes, the Jungle Jumpers win this Marble League. I will dye my hair. Obviously, top 3, we'll get a fish. Top 8, we'll get some kind of merch. Yeah. So there you go. There's a lot on the line for us. We're putting our money where our mouth is here. Yeah. A little nervous.
Little nervous,
Little
for
nervous.
sure, especially with that hair.
A fish would be kind of fun for a third.
The fish isn't terrible.
A third mic.
The hair
on this
dyeing
podcast.
is not good.
Yeah, so let's also talk about the Jungle Jumpers because that's a good way to start, just to dive into this pool of teams. They're still sitting at second place. They've been sitting really in the top 4, top 3 for the last 5 events right now.
Yeah, let's just go through. Event 6, they were on the podium at 3rd. Event 7, they were
ice hockey
9th. Event 8th, they fell.
Bowling.
Yeah, they fell really down here to 13th. In curling, they were at 8th again. And then just recently, Leap came in 5th. So hanging around,
They're
I wouldn't
clinging
say,
on.
One podium in there. Consistently in that middle range. And I think, obviously they're in second, so they're doing something right.
I think they had a really good start to the season, which they did, which we gave Jared a lot of credit for identifying that they might. But since then, they kind of have just been clinging on to those good results. As we see, they're tied for second with Green Ducks right now, within 5 points of the 5th place Solar Flares. So they're not close. They're not comfortably in that second place.
Yeah, I think like you said, anything can happen. We have 9 teams here above 90 points. So like everybody knows, 2 events could go by and we can have a totally different top 5.
Yeah.
And for our sake, I hope so.
Yeah. And to talk about just this change, can we bring up something we saw on Reddit here today?
Sure.
We saw a graphic that was basically first place teams after event 10 going back to the 2017 Marble League. And what we're seeing this year is the lowest total of all time.
Correct. Yeah, we looked at point totals after week 10, the first place teams. As you guys know, the Blackjacks are in first right now with 111 points. That is actually the lowest of all time. Yeah, in the last handful of years. Kind of points to the disparity in the league and kind of just the everlasting movement, the ever-changing of the leaderboard. I think it's a good thing. I don't know your thoughts about it.
I'm so excited. That's why I was so excited to get on this podcast for a long time. I know you were too. One, because these events have been so exciting, and so we want to talk about them, but also because of the absolute packed leaderboard that we have right now. From literally marbles 9 to 1, there's a separation of 20 or less points. So one event can change everything.
Absolutely. And you look at the full leaderboard here, I believe 12 out of the 16 teams have podiumed.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. And it kind of points to the point totals being lower. And again, like you said, we have a heck of a pack of 9 there.
Yeah, just go back to the graphic 1 second.
Happen.
So like we said, Blackjacks is in the lead with 111 points right now. The only other time that happened was 2018 with the Oceanics. But the top team that we've ever seen in first place through 10 events is the Savage Speeders in 2017 with 142. That's a whole 31 points more. So that's a whole event and a half worth of points.
It kind of reminds me of Marbula 1 this past season because the Cat's Eyes were so far ahead.
Right.
But again, this year we're seeing a tight race and a race where anybody can win. So I think it's a great thing. I hope it continues.
Same. We'll just have to wait and see. But do you want to – let's go into this leaderboard a little bit more. Let's talk about all these marbles. Let's talk about the Blackjacks, who we just brought up. They just leapt 4 spaces into first place, and a place that I don't really think that they thought they would be at this point through the Marble League or even after that event, because what did they get in that last event?
Oh, they were second. They podiumed on
Ski
second
jump?
place. Hart, ski jump was second, and I believe a couple events ago, bowling, they were in third on the podium. So as of late, they've performed really well. And I think if you're a Blackjacks fan or you're on that squad, this is house money right now. The fact that you're even in Marble League, which I'm sure somebody in the comments will point at, they shouldn't even be here. But you're leading Marble League 2024 through 10 events.
That's a really good point you just made. I totally forgot about. They weren't even supposed to be able to qualify for this.
I mean,
and here they are taking the league by storm through 10 events with only 6 to go. They could win this whole thing. What a storyline that would be.
It's unbelievable. And again, we have 3 teams in the top 5, the Wolfpack, Solar Flares, and Blackjacks. Really are playing with house money. They're fighting against the odds. We said it in the beginning. It's like, if you're a Solar Flares fan,
it
was where they medaled for the first time in a Marble League this year.
Yeah.
So I think it's great. There's some great storylines developing here.
And it was a little bit of a laughing stock for the Solar Flares. We can go into them next. They win their first ever medal by retroactive review.
Mm-hmm.
Then they win their next medal in ice bowling, which we thought was a great event, but a lot of fans were like, this event's kind of iffy. So they were still not getting much credit.
Yep.
And then just went back to back with more medals in curling and the ice jump. So
it's unbelievable. And if you look, it's Radiance has 2 golds, but they gold, bronze, gold in the last 3 events.
Yeah.
And again, they came from 14th now to 5th place. That's how you're going to do it, getting on the podium, getting those points. And as you can see, I mean, they're knocking on the door. I mean, if Radiance keeps racing and keeps performing like he has been, they're a hot take for a first place finish here.
So what's the biggest thing that you want to tell to these teams, Blackjacks, Wolfpack, Solar Flares, that are in the top 5 of the most premier event in marble athlete history. What is the message you want to deliver to them as they come down the stretch in such an important high pressure situation?
Well, I think the reason why we see three newcoming teams in the top 5 is just they're going out there and having fun. There's no expectations. There's no, rabid fan base coming after them after every event.
Right.
They don't have the media all over them. They're out there. They're not expected to be there, and they're having fun. On the contrary, you look at a Savage Speeders, like all our eyes are on them. They're a storied franchise. They're expected to be in the top 5. And I think that no pressure kind of house money attitude for these teams is why they're where they are.
I would 100% agree. And I think that to give a message to them is to just make sure that you keep having that attitude. I do not shy away from just this underdog mentality. Keep having fun. I think if they let the pressure get to them, that's where we can see them start to fall back.
Absolutely, and I think they're not afraid of anybody. I mean, if you look at a Crazy Cat's Eyes who was really in 7th, right in the race too, I would be intimidated by them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a storied franchise and coming off a great Marbula 1 performance, but it doesn't seem like it's really affecting these teams, especially those blackjacks.
Not yet, but we'll definitely see as it gets down to the nitty gritty here.
That's the question I was going to ask you here. Now we're going into the final 2 weeks. Of the Marble
Final
League.
6 events, however long that takes.
Does the pressure start to dial up here for these teams? Do we start to see the more experienced teams prosper a little bit more?
Yeah, I think that's our worst fear is to see Crazy Cat's Eyes and Savage Speeders regain some momentum by knowing how to perform in crunch time. So we'll have to see when it comes down to it. But I'm hoping that at least one of these or a couple of these teams have some gall, have some gumption in their gut, in their marble guts to make some moves and stay up at the top of the leaderboard here.
I mean, listen, if you're a Wolfpack fan too, we have to give them their flowers.
Let's talk about
another
them.
team that newcoming team. You don't really hear about them much in the media, especially I'll be the first to admit we don't talk about them a whole lot on this podcast. They're in 4th place in Marble League
and have been coming on ridiculously strong in the last few events.
It's been great to see. They have 3 medals. They don't have a gold yet, but they just medaled in ski jump with the bronze finish. Look at that podium there on ski jump. 3 newcoming teams: Solar Flares, Blackjacks, and Wolfpack.
Those are basically the teams that we are trying to see succeed. And
that's awesome to see. So again, I wanted to acknowledge them because they're right in the race too. They're right there. They're 3 points off the lead.
Yeah, and I think right now, Savage Speeders. I mean, that's a team I kind of want to talk about. It seems like they're shell shocked. It's a team that I kind of thought might take a step back in this Marble League. I think they're a little bit doing the Mr. Krabs meme, like what's going on here? Who are all these new kids running around right now?
Yeah, I think we saw that meme on Reddit or something too that people were pointing at that. I don't know. I had them up high. I think in our rankings last week, I put them in the top 5 if I remember right.
Yeah.
I would just say don't count them out. I know they're probably where they sit in 10th right now. 2 medals.
30 points off the lead, though.
30 points off the lead.
It's a substantial margin. That's kind of where the drop-off happens on the leaderboard.
Absolutely. We just saw the Solar Flares gain about 8 spots in 4 events, 9 spots in 4 events. That's a team to watch, especially as we dial up the pressure here in the final 6 events.
Yeah. Can you give me a hand? Give me as many teams as there are that you think can no longer win this Marble League. What teams on this list are fully done in your eyes?
Fully, like 100% done.
I mean, just in you could not see any scenario where they can make a push and win this whole thing.
Well, looking at the leaderboard, the line falls for me right where the Balls of Chaos are.
Okay.
I think that's where you kind of can debate. Is the magic with Juan Rong, the magic of a new coach, the momentum, is that worn off a little bit? They sit with 79 points, 0 medals. So it kind of says a lot. They're not getting on the podium, but they're consistently pretty solid.
They're the top team without any medals.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. But I would say they still have an outside chance, and by outside I mean really outside.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say those bottom 5 teams from 12 to 16.
So Hazers, Team Galactic, Bumblebees, Raspberry Racers, Gliding Glaciers.
I think that's where I'm going to draw the line. What about you? What do you think?
I don't hate that at all. We can go into a little bit of analysis of these teams too. Hazers, I think everyone realizes this tournament was not theirs. They just look horrible. Team Galactic, a team that some people were surprised to see and are just happy to be here tier.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's the winter effect of the marbles or what it is, but they don't look good. Bumblebees, a serious fall from grace from second place last year in the Marble League. I think maybe last year's second place loss by 1 point got to them a little bit.
Yep.
So I think they're also done. Raspberry Racers, really tough to see them come out just completely dead.
A little puzzling.
Yeah,
right? Because we both said it off air. We kind of expected them to be a little bit more in the hunt.
Yeah.
I think we both put them up in our top 10.
Definitely.
I don't know what's going on over there. They have a silver medal, but really besides that, I mean, what's a silver medal? 20 points? I mean, besides that, they really haven't been doing well at all.
That almost makes it worse for them that they have a medal and they're down all the way in 13th place.
It's terrible.
It means the rest of the time they've been really doing nothing. But yeah, like we always see them as a team that's in that top 5 conversation. I think that's what we thought we'd see again this year, but not seeing it all. And then Gliding Glaciers, I'm ready to write them off as well.
Yeah.
You would have thought at this point the home crowd boost would give you something, but it really hasn't yet. Balls of Chaos, I don't know if I'm ready to write them off, but I am ready to write off the Savage Speeders.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know if I don't know if I can say
that's terrifying. You write them off.
That's going into dangerous waters. I'm just going to retract that. We're going to go back 30 seconds. But I will also eliminate the Chocolatiers instead of the Savage Speeders.
Oh, wow.
I'll take the Chocolatiers out of this. Look.
Isn't that your squad?
It is my squad. But just hear me out.
Sure.
It was a really good run that they've made in like most recently. I think they took gold home in short track, which was really fun to watch and was an electric performance. Then they came out and got, what was it, silver in ice hockey?
In ice hockey, back to back there.
So back to back, but I think they're running out of some steam. I think this is just a little bit of a magic effort to show that they're still trying, and I think they are still trying. I just don't think they have really what it takes to make any kind of noise.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with you. I think it's a credit to them because they showed some fight after a horrendous start to this Marble League.
Yeah.
But like Russ said, a little volatile for me. It's just up and down. You see him on the podium and then you see him in last place. It's just hard to have any confidence in them moving forward. But a credit to them, they did not give up. I'll give them that because what was that, first 4 events? I mean, they were just terrible.
Yeah, just awful. And then when you dig that kind of hole, it's hard to get out of.
Really hard.
So those are the teams that we don't think have a chance to win this thing.
I wanted to add one thing.
Yeah. Oh, please.
If you're the Balls of Chaos, are you shooting for that podium? You think? Are you maybe they're overcompensating because they know they look at this leaderboard.
Yeah.
They're the only team in the top 13 that doesn't have a medal.
Right.
If you put them on the podium, they're probably somewhere up higher, top 8 maybe.
Yeah.
Do you think they're maybe squeezing too hard? Shooting for that podium, maybe trying to hit the home run per se?
It's hard to really identify exactly what's going wrong. I think, Juan wrong, no pun intended. But I think it's a testament actually to what he's been able to do with this team, that they are above a couple teams that have medals and they don't have any. It means that they're showing some balance. They're at least competing in every single event. They might not be hitting. They just might not have the talent yet to get up there and get those medals. I think in time when we see Juan Rong with another year under his belt, he might be able to make some actual noise in the league rather than just these middling finishes.
Yeah, I'm curious if you're a Balls of Chaos fan. I think you're happy, even though obviously no one's happy with an 11th place, where you're sitting right now.
Yeah.
But let us know. I'm curious if they're happy where they are, if they're kind of hopeful that things are turning around and going in the right direction.
Right.
Like you said, maybe they need a year under their belt, just new coach, develop some of those younger marbles. Just a team to watch. I thought that was interesting too.
Yeah. Let's talk quickly about not Crazy Cat's Eyes. We will get to them, but let's talk about. We'll get to them because where they're sitting at is kind of a pleasant surprise.
Love to see it.
But Green Ducks sitting in 3rd place, actually dropped 2 spots after the ski jump here, but still you can't say enough about what this team is doing, especially when you look at ice hockey. Curling. That solidified Mallard as the captain of the tournament since that was the last team event. Got to clap it up for Mallard. I think you got to give it up for him after what they went through in Marbula 1.
Absolutely. I think that's a really good point.
Yeah.
You almost forget about it because they've just been performing so well. But we did it. We gave them credit earlier, a couple episodes ago. I think what they're doing right now is awesome to see.
Yeah.
When they make a documentary about the Green Ducks, I think it's the trials and tribulations of what's gone on this season between Marbula 1 and Marble League. A team that I'm not rooting against. Like I'm not rooting against them. I think it's a team that I love to see up there in the podium in top 5. I
find myself rooting for them actively. Actually,
for sure. I mean, for me though, I kind of am rooting for more of those newcomers.
Yeah.
But a team that I love seeing up there, and a team that absolutely has a chance to take this whole thing.
100%. I think it might be my favorite currently to win this whole thing. We'll get into our finals predictions up here in a couple minutes, but let's move down to Crazy Cat's Eyes now.
Yeah. I love how you said it like that. Move down because they are down in the leaderboard.
Good call.
Yeah.
7th place right now. They dropped four spots after the ski jump. They've been lacking a little bit in these last couple of events, and it's really, really refreshing to see.
Love to see it. And we were talking about it too. Is is it evident of the events that we're seeing?
Yeah.
Maybe they're not used to it. Maybe it plays to not their strengths. But we saw a 14th place finish in curling, and I believe an 11th place finish in ski jump.
Yeah.
Really helped the Solar Flares and Blackjacks and other teams get up there and move past them. At the same time, I would not count them out at all. They're 11 points off the lead, and they're sitting probably right where they want to sit.
I was going to say the last thing I want to do is wake a sleeping giant, and I really, really just as I watch these events, I find myself more and more just being cued on their name and just hoping, please, just do not go well.
Actively rooting against them. I think we both are.
Against them.
Yeah, a team that I don't know. I'm happy to see them in 7th. I hope they fall lower.
But still only 11 points off of first place.
I will not doubt them at all.
Yeah, so we're not calling them dead. We're not announcing the end of their reign here, but
they're
just
far from it.
Happy to see them in the middle of the table right now.
Yeah, a bit of a low right now.
Yeah.
Any other team you want to hit on here?
We hit on almost everyone. Another team is Snowballs. They were scorching hot. I think they were my number 1 team in rankings last week or 2 weeks ago. They're now down to 9th place. They're by no means out of it, only 20 points off the lead, but just we have not been able to see them capitalize on some of these more recent events. Like I think ski jump, they did poorly, curling poorly, ice bowling last place.
Yeah, wow. It's been a tough road these past couple events for the Snowballs.
So they're going to need to wake up.
After podiuming the ice hockey.
Yeah.
So
first place. So
all over the place. Very Chocolatiers-esque.
Yeah.
But,
so we're seeing them fall down a little bit, but I think they'll be able to get back up and make some noise. We've almost touched on every single team here, really.
Any team, and again, I don't want to rub it in some of these lower teams, but any team that the house is on fire. Like they're running around, they're panicking.
I mean, well, that's hazers for sure. The Bumblebee's nest is on fire.
The nest is on fire. I think
I'm almost like not even aware that they're in this Marble League half the time. I'm seeing this yellow marble. I'm like, what is Mellow Yellow? Did they make it? I forget.
There's bee spray all over the hive.
Yeah, Raid has been activated.
Raid is sponsor us.
Yeah. So the nest has been sprayed with Raid, and I think it might be time for Bumblebees to just pack it in.
It's that they've been a team that is really not noticeable at all. 58 points right now, right ahead of Galactic. I think that's probably the team I'd pick too. It's just nothing.
All right.
Out of that camp.
You want to move into our email quick, or our voicemail, I should say?
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll rip you guys one voicemail. We got
Yellowfish,
the giveaway winner.
The winner of our giveaway. Maybe another giveaway coming soon. We don't know.
We're hoping.
Maybe in the works.
Keep subscribing, and we'll do another giveaway. Maybe a Christmas giveaway.
Could happen next episode.
I kind of like that.
We'll see that.
Christmas giveaway could be on the horizon. Make sure you watch next week.
All right. Here's Yellowfish.
Hey guys, this is Yellowfish, and I just wanted to bring something up that I found very interesting. The Wolfpack this week, absolutely going off. They're at 92 points, and I don't think a lot of people are recognizing what they're doing. This team is a dark horse, and I do believe that they have a solid chance to win the league. They're the definition of consistency. Even when they have a bad result, they come right back and put up top points. So I wanted to get what your all's opinions are on the team, and shout out to the Flares for getting a gold and a bronze.
Good. I mean, good from Yellowfish. I thank you for the question.
And congrats again on winning the giveaway.
On the giveaway.
Let us know in the comments if you got your sweatshirt. I'm hoping you did.
Yeah, we think. Yeah, we think it
was sent.
Let us know. Let's talk about the Wolfpack. We talked about them briefly before. Yeah. I know it's tedious, but I want to go through the last 5 events here. 2nd place finish, a 14th place finish, a 4th place finish, 2nd, and then 3rd in the recent ski jump.
Humming.
They've been on fire.
Humming.
To prove Yellowfish correct.
Maybe the hottest team in the league other than the Solar Flares.
They've been on fire. I don't know. Where do they sit beforehand? That's a good question. I don't remember.
Like after event 5-ish?
Yeah, like have they just climbed the ladder? I'm checking event 6 here. They were in 12th place after event 6.
Yeah.
And now we see them in 4th place.
Oh, no, sorry. They were in 12th place after event 5 because it's just updated there. So after event 5, they were in 12th place. That's
Correct.
Exactly what you wanted to know.
Thank you. Yeah, so, I mean, talk about the Flares going up there.
Yeah.
We got to talk about the Wolfpack, too. I mean, they've been scorching hot.
Both of these teams are climbing the ladder, and next event I believe we have is ice climb. So it could just be a full microcosm of the entire tournament next week.
You just hope.
Next event.
You just hope, and this goes for the Blackjacks, too. You just hope they don't tire out. You don't hope this is their push. Because I still think we have a push from the Savage Speeders coming. I think the Crazy Cat's Eyes will make that late event push. We hope that these guys didn't exert themselves too much.
You're exactly right, because this isn't crunch time. This is like time that you're supposed to just kind of be hanging on. You make your push at the end of this tournament.
I always think of it like a marathon. Like they're sprinting in the middle, but that last mile, That's what matters. That's
Right.
who's sprint. Everybody's sprinting for that finish line.
And
so.
that's experience is what that's about. So, we'll see.
Harboring your energy, and I think the Savage Speeders are queuing up for one.
No, I don't. Not
quick
me.
Sprint to the finish.
You want to give your gold, bronze, and silver before we close out here?
Sure. My prediction?
Your prediction. We'll do another one next week probably because I think we'll have a couple events left. But let's do this one right now. Mid-season predictions for first, second, and third.
Oh, man. That's tough. I'm going to double down on my Savage Speeders takes. So I'm going to say they just miss out on the podium.
Okay.
I'm going to add in fourth place there.
Okay.
I'm going to say the Crazy Cat's Eyes come in third.
Okay.
I'm going to say my Flares come in second.
Love it.
And my first place winner, I'm going to go with the Green Ducks. I know. I think I'm stealing your winner.
I love it.
I think the Green Ducks are experienced. I can't pick the Crazy Cat's Eyes to win. I don't believe in Momo. So Green Ducks, Flares, and Savage Speeders. Oh, I'm sorry. Green Ducks, Flares, Crazy Cat's Eyes, Savage Speeders.
Yeah. I think Momo is the one team we really didn't bring up in this tournament, and I'd like to. We didn't apologize for the Jungle Jumpers. I think I'd like to apologize to Team Momo. I think they actually might be for real. It's not a team that I find myself rooting for, but I have to give a little bit of props to what they've been doing. They've actually had a really good tournament so far, and they're just 11 points off the lead.
Yeah, they've been sneaky good. It's another team that we didn't really talk about. I don't notice them much, but obviously if they're continue around to do well, they're
the bumblebees of the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, they're hanging around. 2 medals. I mean,
and that's what you got to do. Just stay quiet. They might be running a perfect tournament here.
They might be that sprinting team in the marathon.
And that to lead into what I was going to say, Team Momo is actually going to be my third place team here. I like I said, I like what they're doing. I think they'll continue on. Second place, Green Ducks.
Okay.
Hard to disqualify what they've been doing. I was thinking about putting them first, but then you did. I figured I had to switch it up.
Yeah, sure.
And then first place, I'm going to go with the Wolfpack.
Wow.
I love the way they're pushing. I find myself on their bandwagon more and more every event.
Wow.
And I think a hungry dog runs faster. A hungry wolf pack runs faster. I think they're hungry to make a statement here in their first ever Marble League.
Give me where the Cat's Eyes finish in your mind.
Probably. You know what? No, they're going to finish in 9th place.
Clip that.
Crazy Cat's Eyes.
Come in 9th.
Come in 9th. I mean, it's obviously wishful thinking, but if I'm not going to put them in my top 3, might as well put them in the bottom half. Jungle Jumpers are going to finish in 13th.
I hope you're right. I like both of those.
How you feeling? You good? Anything else you wanted to chime on?
Action packed. I think we hit all the events. Just because we talked about it last week. But give me your favorite event of these 5.
Yeah,
I know mine, but they were all so different.
Yeah, let's do a quick minute here on the events because they were so fun. My favorite I think was curling. It was just I don't know. It felt so variable. It was so exciting. There were some amazing finishes. I love to see. Was it a bracket? Yeah, it was bracket style. I think. Just so awesome. I love brackets. I love what they did with curling. So fun.
Yeah, you took my answer. I like curling. I took your Green Ducks answer, so that's all right. I loved curling. I think my second favorite was the ski jump. Just seeing my Flares break that record.
Yeah, that was electric.
Flares. I'm a Limer fan, but I'm an undercover Flares. I could be a Flare fan.
You're a chameleon. You kind of just
I roll.
You change colors every season.
I jump on the bandwagon. But the Solar Flares breaking that record, getting in the top 5 overall, coming in first for their 4th medal of this Marble League, I believe. Yes, 4th medal. That's crazy. That was my favorite event.
Yeah, and I mean, I have nothing bad to say about ice hockey, ice domino, or short track either. I really liked every single event. It's just that curling had me fired up, screaming at my computer.
It was awesome. Curling was great. I love the bracket style.
I also will say there's been this like snowy kind of ski trail looking thing behind the curling track and the ski jump track that we saw today. Really looking forward to see what that is.
Maybe a little cross country,
slalom type thing.
I like it.
I'm really excited for that.
Yeah,
I'll put a little clip in the YouTube, just a little picture of it so everyone can do their conspiracy.
The events have been awesome. I think that just keeps us on our toes. Different events every couple days.
Yeah,
they've been great. Nothing bad to say about the events. They've been awesome.
All right, guys, girls, and marbles. I think that's it for today.
Yeah. Make sure to keep liking, subscribing. The race for what we'll say 2,500 subscribers. Is that where that's the next goal?
Maybe 2,000.
2,000 for another giveaway
or Santa.
We appreciate all the support, comments, liking, subscribing, and we're going to keep rolling.
And a quick update on the toy. We're actually going to do those races after every episode at the start of the new year. It feels like a thing that you start at the new year. So we'll do that for like a 2025 kind of tournament style.
Yeah, but if you haven't seen that video, go check it out, especially if you're interested in getting a toy. I know a couple of people in the comments were, really psyched to see it and kind of us review it. So check out that video. We definitely recommend it, but go watch that video.
All right, guys, girls, marbles, we're rolling out. Thanks for tuning in. Like, subscribe, and just keep enjoying this Marble League. We're along for a ride. I can't wait to see what happens.
Ramping up here, but see you later.
Rolling out.
Peace.